Hi, I've been talking to quite a few people lately who have issues with entities, or let's say aspects of themselves, or energies, or energy vampires. And the biggest issue for them is that they keep doing this inner work, shadow work, trying to get rid of entities and other things that are kind of like really getting in the way of their life. And it keeps coming back no matter what they do. Or let's say it's not necessarily the same thing, but something similar, something very close to what they've got rid of. And you know probably a lot of tools that can work for you. If you have some of your favorites, please share in the comments. But one of the little things you can do to see if that will help, and is again one out of the many. So of course there's like lots of ways to do it. One of the tools would be to create this energy bubble around yourself and program it with intentions of who can be in your space. Because we're looking at, let's say, people who in their past lives might have been healers. Like before coming here on Earth, you've definitely had a reputation, one kind or the other. And some of us have worked with like, okay, like trying to heal others, doing the energy work, but also helping others. Some of you might have heard of Trusians, like the beings who, like if you would imagine kind of like a humanoid or human outline, but fill that with the universe within. And those beings would create stargates and they would like teleport others. So like, of course, others would look at you as a taxi or something like that. Like, hey, you are a being who can help. If I come to you, if I stay in your space, you will help me to move from one place to another. And we would like help beings to escape from planets that are being attacked or something like that. So we have reputation. When we're here on Earth, walking and being busy with our everyday lives, entities like thought forms, they will know us as that of like the reputation we built for ourselves. Not necessarily just the human that you are here, but also your past lives. Like they can access your consciousness, not necessarily read everything about you, but they know more than we can just like consciously access at the time because like all of all the things that are happening around us. Anyway, with that in mind, a lot of these little beings or creatures will jump onto us because as we're walking in the street, someone will see you as a being who can help. That is your reputation. And a lot of us will have a harder time being in the crowds because we're being overwhelmed. And it's not necessarily the social anxiety. It's because we're like going into that space and then things jump to us. So we're feeling like harsher, denser, it's harder to handle things. We're easier, like more easily triggered by things. So with that in mind, what you would have to do is imagine a little energy shield, energy bubble around you. And of course, it is all up to you, your creativity, your imagination. You might not necessarily need super great visuals, but just to have an idea and intention of creating this space around you. Like if you are here and this is the person, you create a bubble around that. So you're surrounded by this energy, right? And as you create that, make sure that as a programmer, as a creator, if you are the godlike being creating that sovereign space, what is it that you would like? Well, one of the things, and you can change everything, I'm just giving you possible examples, is that this is my sovereign space. No one can enter here unless I consciously and willingly allow them to be here. And only those who have the best intentions, who are most loving and most sincere, and yada yada, can be in this space. But of course, I'm just giving examples and I'm not doing it perfectly because like even saying yada yada, like of course it's an example, but being specific, because we don't want and no other bad beings can enter this space. Well, yeah, cool, but it's like any kind of entities, anyone who I do not want, or like anyone that has, let's say, energy that will get in the way, thoughts that will get in the way of my life. Like you are not allowed. Only beings who fit this certain frequency, only those that are loving and benevolent and not necessarily like, having the best in like intentions towards you. That could be a thing as well. But you create rules for yourself and for the shield of who can be in your space. If you were to go out with your friends, who would you like to hang out with? Like, okay, well, those are funny, those that like I can connect with, that I can have conversations about everything and anything. And if you were around someone who you had a harder time sharing something that was important to you, well, it's not necessarily the best example. So you put out the rules of who can be in that space, right? And as you do that, another little thing you add on the list is if that being does not fit the requirements, when they get into your space and they touch that energy shield, energy bubble, they will automatically be teleported into a realm where they can be transmuted, where they can live their dream life. But the thing is, even though a lot of beings will jump from others to you because they see you as a person who can help, you give them that help without doing anything. You created the shield, and when someone jumps to you, they don't get into your space. They touch the bubble, and they are teleported into the realm where they can be transmuted into becoming something better, where they can recall their pasts, where they can start growing, where they can live their dream life. But you give them that help, and they can start like evolving or getting better. So with this idea, it just takes a few minutes just to imagine this little space around you. And you can actually, it doesn't have to be just around your body. Feel free to expand that space, because as people, when you go out and you meet others, sometimes we feel pressure from people and our energy bubbles get like too close, and it's like, it's intense, it's touching, and it's like you might not feel comfortable. So what you want to do, you might like want to have some breathing space for yourself. You expand it, not just around yourself, but make it as big as your room, make it as big as your house, expand it. And you will not harm others, but you will make sure that other beings, other entities never get too close to you. And you can make it as big as a planet if you want to. So with that in mind, you create this energy bubble around yourself as big as you want, create rules of who can enter that space, and anyone that does not fit those standards will be teleported into the realm or a place where they can be transmuted or get better. And of course, you will be the one making the rules of what's going to happen to them. I think the best thing would be to give them something positive instead of, okay, you got really tired of being messed with and you want to give them like some payback. You want to punish them for what they did to you. But a lot of those entities never even met you in their entire life. You were just passing by a person and you look like someone who can help them. So they jump to you. They're looking for help. Not all of them are bullies. 98% of little entities are thought forms that, have gotten into that state against their own free will. They've been messed up like even worse than us. So with that in mind, you might want to give them a chance. It will be better, because then other beings will jump and they will get out of your space and, like, hey, you're someone who can help. So you're going to build that reputation if you want to. With that in mind, with building the energy bubble and everything else and having some intentions, because of your reputation and things you have done in your past lives, you might want to like announce that, hey, in my past, I might have been like Pleiadian or Lyran or Trusion or whoever you might have been. And you tell them like, back then I had the tools and abilities to help others. Now I am busy with trying to survive here or live the best life possible. I'm still working on myself and I cannot provide you the help you want and or need. So please, instead of jumping to me, look for someone else. You might want to tell them that like at this time, you don't have the abilities, you don't have the time, you don't have the awareness or something that will provide them what they need. And you like tell others, you announce it to entities, you announce it to like whoever is in your space. But those that need your help, those that like, we have people like, let's say Pleiadians or Lyrans or someone from your past lives who will try to get your help. Some people get like astrally abducted, astrally taken by good guys and bad guys. And good guys will like, hey, you promised that even when you're here on Earth or wherever, you are our friends, so you're going to help us anytime. And we get taken. So if you announce that, you might avoid some sort of issues as well. Anyway, it's like very broad. There's a lot of things connected, but you get the idea. Creating the energy bubble around yourself, programming it, and making sure that others who want to get into your space get teleported out. and you don't even have to do anything anymore. As in, like, not like you will no longer do spiritual work or anything, but if you have entities jumping to you, creating this little defensive mechanism might be one out of many tools that can help you with this little issue. So, try it out, see what happens, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.